Miller Field. I'm here with Senator David Carlucci. Great to see you here, and we want to thank you on behalf of the superintendent and everyone in the Ossining School District. Thank you for this wonderful press box and the renovations that have been done. And how do you think it's looking so far? You're happy with this?
Oh, it's great. It's we've got 1,000 seats available here, so ADA compliant. This is a great opportunity.
Yes, we love what you've done here, and we're glad that you made it here in time as the team gets ready in the middle of the field. All right, well, we're about to get ready for the game. Again, thank you so much. Great pleasure to have you here, and yes, it's an exciting time. Football season's upon us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello and welcome to OHS Sports. I'm Dan Kornhauser here with Bobby Hunt, and we want to welcome you to tonight's broadcast on behalf of Superintendent of Schools Ray Sanchez, Athletic Director Jim Dennett, Principal of OHS Josh Mandel, and Head Coach of the varsity football team Dan Rickey. We're here along with Martin McDonald, who is directing, producing, and operating the camera tonight. And now, Bob, it's about that time to embark on yet another fantastic season of football here at Ossining High School.
It's certainly an exciting time. It's a beautiful night out. There was some rain in the forecast, but it looks like it's holding off. It's just a gorgeous day for football. I'm super excited that it's back. Ossining wearing their traditional maroon and white. John Jay Patriots on the other sideline across from us wearing their white and blue with a silver helmet. I'm excited. How are you feeling?
I can't wait.
Can you believe we're back?
It's been a while since we were on the microphone, but it feels great. I'm so excited. I just can't wait to see what our boys do here tonight. And they've got a great opponent on the other side of the field.
Yes, they most certainly do. This team at the moment, according to MaxPreps.com, their national rank is in the 3,000s, which actually is pretty good considering how many high schools there are. And as far as New York State rank, they're ranked 69th. So that's certainly a great distinction for a team like John Jay, a team that, as we've talked about prior to the game, in the pregame, they've made some state titles, some section titles in the past few years.
Yes, actually they have made 3 of the last 4 section titles, and John Jay's got a very, very solid program. They've got one of the key programs in Section 1 recent history. Last year, just lost in the Section 1 Class AA title game. They won it in 2014. So this is a team Ossining knows will come to bring it with championship aspirations pretty much every year. They're ready to go. It looks like Ossining's ready to go as we get ready for the coin flip.
Most definitely, and walking out for the coin flip right now are number 11, Shamara Holbrook, number 44, Fabian Miranda, number 17, quarterback Liam O'Connor, and number 54, lineman Justin Everett for OHS.
And we have Senator Carlucci out there for the coin flip, and Senator Carlucci helped Ossining, well, pretty much upgrade and renovate a lot of our equipment here, the bleachers, the booth, the list goes on. And he's at midfield right now with the referees and captains for both teams as the honorary coin flipper.
Long flip. No one pretty far. Oh, he has to redo it now.
Oh, second flip, all right. Looks like John Jay won the flip. And Bob, while they get going here, it's actually something pretty exciting I want to bring up. Coach Rowe, the longtime offensive line coach, defensive line coach for Ossining, been here 40 plus years, 50 years, and one of the most beloved coaches here, and he's back on the sideline after a hiatus due to some medical occurrences in his life, but he's back on the sideline where he belongs, and I know the coaches are happy to have him, and the players are ecstatic to have him. He's going to be able to teach these kids a lot.
He certainly has, and Coach Wheeler filled in very capably and is still on the staff. He has been for years now. teaching the O-line and D-line, and Roger Rowe is back now as coach to help him out. So we have a wonderful staff members that were here when we were playing ourselves 10, 12 years ago. And we're just about ready for kickoff, it looks like.
Yep, both teams going out to the field now. Looks like Ossining is going to set the tone and going to be receiving the ball in the first half. Looks like we're going to get a early view at what this Ossining offense can bring to the field. And I'm just so excited. It's a beautiful night, as you said. The weather permitting, should be a great game. I want to see what Ossining can do against John Jay's running back. They have a very solid player in the backfield. Danny Dietrich, number 28, senior running back, one of only 3 seniors on the team. We're going to get to see him on defense first, playing linebacker, a little bit of secondary.
What's also interesting looking out at Austin's team right now is it looks like they do have some JV players on the team, because I see some players without names on the back of their jerseys. So the team might be a little thin right now, but I'm certain that they'll be getting great, valuable experience against a team like John Jay, and it'll be a real test. But we'll see what Austin's made of. Austin pride.
The fans are ready. The coaches are ready. The players, we know they're ready. It's time to kick off another season of football here at Ossining High School. All right, and the opening kickoff goes back to about the 19-yard line. That was number 21 on the return, James Sanchez, Jr.
Player to really look out for Austin, as I've been told, is number 11, Shamar Holbrook. He was on the team last year. I believe he was one of the top rushers on the team. Their other top leading rusher has graduated now, so Shamar Holbrook is a player to look out for Ossining.
I like it. And now on the opposite side of the ball, we have John Jay's defense set up. A nice run up the middle on first down. Looks like it goes back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Second down, and looks like a loss of 1 on that.
Another player to look out for is number 44, one of the captains, Fabian Miranda. He's a senior on the team and one of the guys that will be providing leadership for a pretty young team. A team that didn't have a lot of guys on the team last year who are seniors but didn't actually play their junior season.
Now, a couple of the names that the coaches for John Jay threw out at me to watch on the defensive side of the ball were Javon Hayes, the nose tackle, and linebacker Calvin Anthony. So on that play there, a nice scramble by a quarterback, number 11, Shamar Holbrook. Looked to make something happen there on a pass. But he, unfortunately, got tackled behind the scrimmage, a loss of about 5 to 6 yards. We're looking at 3rd and about 16, 17.
Yeah, it's quite a down and distance. I looked for Ossining just to play it a little conservative here and try playing the field position game.
Man in motion, handoff up the middle, looks like a fullback dive, and doesn't get much there. John Jay's defense is playing very well to start, setting the tone early with some hard-nosed defense, driving Ossining back on their first drive, and it looks like Ossining's going to come out and punt the ball. So John Jay might get the football on Ossining's side of the field for their first possession. It's going to be a nice place to start for them based on where this punt goes.
Number 34, James Luciano, is back for John Jay to receive the punt. Fabian Miranda also is the punter for Ossining.
And that's a nice punt. Nice air on that, all the way back to about the 50-yard line. Breaks a couple tackles there, and Ossining brings him down after a gain of about 10 on that. And it looks like there's a penalty on the play. Laundry on the field. Looks like it may be against Ossining.
It's a great job by Miranda, too. That was not a good snap, but it happens, and he did catch it one-handed. Nice punt. Only a few broken tackles, about a return of about 7 yards or so.
Get the ball!
So we got a penalty here, and it's on the line of scrimmage, holding. And we got a block in the back on John Jay, so it looks like the penalties may offset here.
Looks to be a little confusion on the field.
And while they sort that out, let me just throw out some names here for the John Jay offense to keep an eye on. As I mentioned before, Danny Diedrich, running back, number 28. He'll be a huge part of this offense. They are a run-first team, and they just lost their starting quarterback, Ryan Schumacher, who moved on due to graduation, and he had a lot of success here in his time as a starter. And John Jay's breaking in a first-year starting quarterback. Never started a game on the varsity level. And it's an exciting time for John Jay. Like I said, just made the championship last season, fell just short. I spoke to one of their assistant coaches pregame. They told me that they have nothing but championship aspirations. And, I mean, 3 out of the last 4 years, what else do you expect?
Oh, certainly. They have high expectations for the year. John Jay comes out with number 17 at quarterback, Richie Aletto, lining up behind center.
And a nice run up the middle, as I mentioned, to Diedrich. He's going to get the ball a lot today. A nice first carry for him, gets about 4 yards on first down.
Good for about 4. Second down.
The aforementioned Holbrook and Miranda also are starters on defense.
A couple other names to throw out for John Jay to keep an eye on. John Ryan, their left tackle. Big boy, one of the better offensive linemen considered in the section, as well as teammate Max Maybaum. Again, another big guy on the line for him. Ossing's going to have to deal with some size, but as we know, in high school, it's not so much about size as it is coaching and fundamentals. A big run up the middle there, and a great carry there on second down. Gets a big chunk of yards and moves the chains all the way into Ossing territory, down to about the 41-yard line.
There was also some great blocks on that play. Number 71, John Ryan for John Jay, sealed his man, Fabian Miranda, on the edge. It was a solid run, well blocked by John Jay.
No coincidence there, Bob. Just as I mentioned John Ryan's name, where did they run? Right off left tackle and pick up a nice chunk of change there.
Yes, they gained back all the penalty yardage. They're now at the 41 of Ossining.
So now we got 1st and 10 at the Ossining 41-yard line. Coming out with a broken I formation. And it's a handoff to the fullback right up the middle. That's a great run, well blocked, right up the center of that Ossining defense. Takes it down to about the 31-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 1, less than a yard.
Good for first down.
Oh no, they're going to give it to him.
They did give them the first down. Number 79, Paul Cozzolino for Ossining was in on the tackle.
And that was Calvin Anthony running the ball up the middle there. Lined up in a I formation. Handoff right up the middle yet again to number 28, Danny Diedrich. And this time he gets stuffed after a game of just a couple on that one.
Good play coming off the edge by Ossining's number 30, Joseph Donadio. And number 79, again, Paul Cozzolino also in on the tackle.
Seeing a trend so far in their first drive, Bob. A lot of runs up the middle, a lot of I formation, broken I. Pretty simple.
Yeah, certainly. They do have 2 wide, which some high school teams don't really play with. You know, usually only 1, but they do have 2 split out wide in this I formation.
And it's another handoff up the middle. Diedrich with a nice hole, breaks it out to the outside.
Nice
it looks like he's going to break it for the first touchdown of the season. Danny Diedrich, number 28, with a nice 21-yard run for a touchdown.
It was a well-blocked play. He broke a couple tackles, and then he was off to the races and got to the pylon.
A lot of great blocking, and they're doing pretty much what they do. Breaking in a new quarterback, sophomore, first-time starter, first game on varsity, and how are you going to break in a young quarterback, Bob?
You're going to let him hand the ball off.
Pretty much, and they did a great job of that on the first drive. A big way to cap off the drive, 21-yard touchdown run. And the extra point is no good. So we've got a score of 6-0, John Jay over Ossining early.
If you're John Jay, you do have to be pretty excited about that drive. You gained back the penalty yardage on the very first play. Had a couple stops. Ossining held their ground for a little bit, but just a very nice block play led to the touchdown of 31 yards by Diedrich.
Yeah, the offensive line has to be given a lot of props. They use their size, they use it well. A lot of good blocking on that drive for John Jay.
Now we'll see how Ossining responds. They got number 21, James Sanchez, going back to receive the kick, and also number 7, Isaiah Beltran.
So it's got to be a little disappointing for Ossining. First drive stalled out. John Jay was playing great defense. We'll see what Ossining brings to the table for the second drive. We'll see if they can get a little momentum going, try to respond, drive the ball downfield, set the tone for their season.
Yes, exactly. They do have a 3-year starter at quarterback, Liam O'Connor. So I think now that they're down 6-0, they're not going to panic. They're still going to try and run their base formations, run the ball at this John Jay defense. But I think they'll try and mix it up a little bit more now, especially if they can get some good field position on this kickoff.
And now we have John Jay ready to kick it off. Looks like Ossining is ready to receive. Here we go.
Boys, block!
Fields it at about the 5. And he's going to bring it out down to about the 16-yard line, it looks like. So John Jay again with excellent kickoff coverage, as they did on the opening kickoff. Great coverage downfield, keeping Ossining inside the 20.
They officially marked the ball at the 18-yard line.
Okay.
Ossining's best bet might be to try and run on the left side. It looks like that's not the strong suit of John Jay necessarily.
It was a quick handoff right up the middle to the fullback. Looks like number 11.
Second down.
Just a gain of a couple on that one, gain about 1 or 2. It's going to be second down. And I like what I'm seeing from John Jay early, flying around the ball, getting good penetration.
They do appear to have a stout defensive line between number 79, Max Maybaum.
And Ossining go to hand the ball off again. Looks like a slow developing play in the backfield. He breaks one, he breaks 2, and he's brought down in the backfield. Unfortunately, down for a loss. Looks like of about 4 on that. It's going to be third, and we're looking at about 12 for Ossining here. Let's see if they can pick up this third down. This will be huge for their confidence moving forward in this game.
Yeah, Shamar Holbrook didn't have a lot of places to go on that play, tried to break a few tackles, but was taken down. I look for a pass here. Not definite, but I think they need to mix it up.
And he is. It's a pass, and it's a play action, and it's a great deflection on the defense. Number 13, Javon Reynolds.
That was a great break on the
John Jay.
Sorry, Dan. That was a great break on the ball by number 13, Javon Reynolds. Mark Clays, number 1 for Austin, had his hands on it, but Javon Reynolds got there too fast for him.
And we got about 6 minutes, 8 seconds left here in the first quarter. John Jay is up 6-0 over Ossining. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down as Ossining sets up to punt.
Let's see if Miranda can boom another one to number 34, James Luciano, back for John Jay.
High snap, and the punter loses it. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like John Jay is going to come up with it. They've got excellent field position inside Ossining's 10-yard line. Looks like it's marked down at about the 8, and that's where John Jay will be taking over.
John Jay will take over.
Definitely not what Austin was looking for, but if they can hold them here to either a field goal or maybe even block it again like they did. It looked like they got a piece of it on the PAT after the touchdown only moments ago. So maybe they can stop them here. Austin needs to stand strong.
So it looks like Danny Dietrich came off the field for this offensive play, maybe to get a breather. It does play both ways. Let's see who takes his place in the backfield. Looks like number 15, Dylan Burnett. Junior plays wide receiver, running back for John Jay. I formation, hand up the middle, and he carries an Ossining defender past the line of scrimmage. Gain of a couple on that. Looks like they're going to take it down to about the 5-yard line. Second down.
That Ossining defender held on tight, though. He wound up with the tackle, Charles Rios, number 75, up the middle.
Well, you know what they say, if you can't make the tackle, grab whatever you can and just hold on for dear life, right?
Exactly, and you have 10 other teammates on the field, so hopefully they'll come to your rescue, which they did in this case.
All right, second down now inside the 5-yard line for John Jay. Looks like Burnett's back in the I formation, take off up the middle. He jukes a couple of guys, and a touchdown. Untouched, John Jay scores. Number 15, Dylan Burnett with a nice run.
It was a decently blocked play, but he really made a nice move. Nifty, shifty juke moves to get into the end zone for the 5-yard touchdown.
Yeah, didn't even need Dietrich on that drive, showing us some of their depth here tonight. Letting us know that it may not be a one-man show. It doesn't look like Dietrich will have to carry everything on his senior shoulders.
No, I mean, when you're ranked 69th in the state, at least preseason, you will have some depth in those areas, and especially teams around here love to run the ball.
And the kick is up after the touchdown, and it is good. So now John Jay takes the lead 13-0 over Ossining early in the first quarter. 5 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the first.
Getting set up for kickoff again. Beltran and Sanchez will again be back for Ossining, hoping for another return. Now we'll get them past the 20 this time. They've started their drives inside the 20 the last couple times, so they're looking to rebound on that and get some better field position. I think that'll really be key to getting some momentum and take it away from John Jay, honestly.
John Jay on a roll here early. Again, not surprising considering how successful the program's been the last couple of years. But, you got to be disappointed at the moment for Ossining, starting inside the 20. But I'm sure they'll muster something together here, get the fans all riled up and going.
Most definitely. It's early. We got to remember that. There's only 5:24 left in the first quarter, so they still have a long way to go.
And the kickoff is up, and it's a good one down to about the 10-yard line, and he fields it. Ossining looked like they had a nice wall set up there, but that was a real solid return there for Ossining, and it looks like they're going to mark it down to about the 21-yard line for Ossining's third drive. 5:16 here in the first.
Number 24, Greg Wilson, and number 32, Tommy Cavallo, in on the tackle on that kickoff.
All right, Ossining coming out again on their drive. Looks like they're going to mix it up a little bit and come in their spread formation. Looks like they got 4 wide with a single back. And the quarterback's going to take it on a rollout. He's going to throw it up. He's looking for the fade, but the receiver wasn't looking for it.
It was a little out of his reach, a little too deep for number 30, Joseph Donadio. Number 44, Fabian Miranda, was also in the area, but it was not intended for him.
First game of the season, you got to see what you can pull, especially against a team like John Jay. Try to take some shots downfield, spread it out a little bit.
Most definitely, and since they haven't had a lot of success with their base formation, just mix it up and get back to that when they feel comfortable and when they feel that they can get a good run in.
It looks like they got another quarterback in here. And it's a scramble out. It's a nice carry. Makes a move to the outside. Takes it all the way down to about the 35-yard line. Great run there by number 11, Shamar Holbrook.
Expect Shamar Holbrook to get the ball a lot. They're going to line him up at quarterback in some instances, as we just saw, get him the ball in space and let him make some moves.
I mentioned earlier Liam O'Connor as the starting quarterback, number 17. In back there at quarterback taking the snap, and it's a handoff to number 21. James Sanchez takes the ball. Doesn't get much on the carry, but I like that Ossining is continuing, running the ball, staying true to who they are. Establish the run. Don't worry about what the other guys are doing.
Most definitely. They need to just switch it up, because early on, the first 2 drives, a lot of runs, and that is their base formation. That's what they got to do. That's their bread and butter. But now down 13-0, like they're doing. I love it. Mix of run and pass.
Holbrook back at quarterback. Looks like he's going to throw now. He throws it up downfield. There's an open receiver. Just a bit short for number 1, Mark Clace. That was a real solid throw, though. Nice air under it. Let the receiver get under and make a play for it.
Yeah, both players were locked in together. Mark Clace for Ossining. Dylan Burnett for John Jay on the play. Almost an interception, but it was up for grabs. It was really anybody's ball at that point.
I like what Austin's doing on this drive here, mixing it up, different packages at quarterback and receiver. And now we see O'Connor back at quarterback here. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be a reverse. And that one, again, John Jay playing great defense, stuffs it at the line. Very impressive thus far for John Jay.
No gain on the play. That will be fourth down.
John Jay so far is doing a great job of staying in their, reading their keys, staying in their lanes, and sticking to their man on passes.
And now fourth down coming up for Ossining, 4th and 10. They're going to come up to punt from the 35-yard line. And it's blocked on the play by number 78. Ball's on the ground.
Miranda recovers, but John Jay will take over from the Ossining 23-yard line.
Number 78 on that one, Max Maybaum, one of the gentlemen I mentioned earlier, one of the players to watch, one of the big boys, came out and just got a big old paw on it. Couldn't do anything for the punter. It was a great play. Great play.
Ossining's been having a tough time with their punting formation lately in this game. They're going to have to figure that out and try and get some better field position. That's really been the key to the game so far. I mean, if you're always on your end of the field, it's going to be tough to win a game.
Well, we got about 3:37 left here in this first quarter. Ossining down 13-0 to John Jay. And John Jay's beginning their next drive here in Ossining's territory, right about the 23-yard line. Coming out with the I formation, twins on the right. It's going to be a play-action pass, wide open. On the sideline is number 13, Javon Reynolds. And a great first down play. Ossining caught off guard by the play action on first down, picks up a nice chunk of change on that one, takes it inside the 10-yard line. And Ossining's backs are back against the wall.
Donadio again in on the tackle. Has a few on the game so far already in this first quarter.
First down.
So now we got first and goal for John Jay here coming back out.
Yep, first and goal on the 9.
Danny Dietrich back in the I formation, gets the ball up the middle, stays true, a nice hole up the middle, turns his legs, and he takes it in for a touchdown. Carrying a couple Ossining defenders in on the way.
That was a great run, very tough, got some good blocks, and broke a couple tackles, and that's key when you're trying to run right up the middle.
And I find myself repeating myself, but John Jay's offensive line just impressing up the middle, ISO, 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 and you got to give it to these running backs. They're finding the right hole and they're hitting it, and they're getting great production so far out of the running game.
Yes, John Jay so far must be very pleased with how they're playing the game, but again, the field position battle is really key. If Ossining can get in better field position, they can definitely get back in this game. There's 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
And the extra point on that one was no good by John Jay. So now we're looking at a 19-0 deficit. John Jay ahead of Ossining with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left here in this first quarter. And here we go as the Ossining crowd gets a little riled up and pumped up, stomping on the bleachers, trying to get their boys some motivation here from the sidelines. Ossining getting ready to receive another kickoff here. John Jay is ready to kick off. Ossining's ready to receive.
A squib kick.
And it's a live ball. He picks it up. He's running up the middle. He's got some good room there, and he brings it all the way down to the Ossining 42, 43-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Ossining with great field position.
Best field position of the game so far for Ossining. They'll look to get a fast start on offense. Perhaps they can get back to what they really do best, which is run their wing T offense, do some trap plays, some stretch wing ISOs, do a variety of things, try and mix it up on their run game, and see what they can do against this John Jay offense. They've yet to record a first down.
And O'Connor back in at quarterback. Holbrook joining him in the backfield at fullback / tailback there.
Looks like the chains are not quite set up yet. That's what's causing the delay on the field at the moment.
So there's something went on there. Looks like we're going to replay the kickoff. Maybe an issue with the ball or something like that, but we're going to be redoing the kickoff here. So it's got to be a bit of a heartbreaker for Ossining as they get their first real, nice field position so far this first quarter. And unfortunately, it gets taken back.
I'm very curious what just happened. I would love to find out at halftime what exactly brought the ball back on the kickoff.
I mean, my guess has to do with something with the football. Maybe it wasn't a proper kicking ball or something like that, because I know you have to label them before the game.
That is true.
So maybe it wasn't their kicking ball or something along those lines, but here we go again. Let's
I'm
try
sure
this
John
out.
Jay doesn't mind re-kicking.
I know. And let's see if they squib it again. Nope, it's going to be a kickoff deep. 21, James Sanchez to field. And he gets swallowed up back at about the 24-yard line. It looks like Ossining takes over. 1st and 10 for the Pride.
Definitely not as good field position, but it is better than their other previous kickoff returns. John Jay looks to force another 3 and out.
Now, Bob, what are you looking for on this drive here as Ossining takes over? 1st and 10. It looks like they're coming back out with Liam O'Connor under center. Man in motion. And it's going to be a play action. Turns around quick, looks to throw it up. He's open, and he catches it over the shoulder. He's running downfield. It's a race, and he gets brought down, number 15. A lot of hustle by Dylan Burnett on that one, and a great pitch and catch. Liam O'Connor to James Sanchez for a huge Ossining game, and this sideline is awake and making some noise.
Very nice play. That looked like a 129 bootleg. Actually, I could be wrong on the terminology, but it was a bootleg, knowing the Ossining playbook from years past. It's a very nice play.
And we got a man in motion now, 1st down, a nice reverse handoff, and it's going to get swallowed up right behind the line of scrimmage. We're looking at about a 2 to 3 yard loss on that one. But I know Ossining's got to be feeling really good after that big play just now. And they're threatening.
Coach McRae relaying a play to quarterback Liam O'Connor.
2nd down now. Ossining comes out, 2 backs. And it's a handoff right up the middle to the fullback, number 11, Holbrook, and he gets brought down at just about the 27.
Holbrook carry. 3rd down.
And now we got a 3rd and 10 for Ossining, a minute 55 left here in this first quarter. 19-0 John Jay over Ossining for the time being. And it's another play action pass, another bootleg. It's a nice pass. He goes up for it, and a great defensive play. Again, Javon Reynolds, number 13, making some big plays in the secondary. 2nd deflection.
Again, great coverage by John Jay on a lot of these passes. Even the one that was completed a few moments ago. The man was step for step with the Ossining receiver, just a little bit behind him. And even there, it looked like Shamar Holbrook was going up the middle for a pass, but swallowed up by the safeties and good coverage on the throw.
And it's going to be a timeout Ossining as the coaches want to discuss with their offense. And what do you think, Bob? You think we're going to see them going for it on 4th down here?
I definitely do. I think given that they're down 19-0, they finally have the ball in John Jay territory, about the 26-yard line. They have to. You're not going to kick a field goal here. It's a long field goal, especially for the high school ranks. It'll be about 43 yards. And Ossining really needs to get the momentum. If they can complete this, that's awesome for them. If not, it's still deep in John Jay territory should they get the ball back on a turnover on down. So I think regardless, Ossining should go for it here on 4th down.
All right, we'll see momentarily if your prediction comes true. As you mentioned, if they get it, huge momentum moving forward. They don't, I mean, you look at it just like a punt pretty much.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's really not a lose-lose situation or anything. You're going to pin them back at the very least in their own territory, even if you don't get it.
And it looks like you were right, Bob. Looks like Ossining's coming out. Four wide, man in motion. It's a quick pass. It's a nice catch and go. He breaks the tackle, and it looks like that's Ossining's first touchdown. Number 21, James Sanchez, on the nice little bubble screen there.
Great play by Sanchez. Good job catching it. Broke a tackle and did the rest on the way to the end zone.
Maybe we've seen a little chink in the armor of this John Jay defense.
Yes,
Stuffing the run pretty impressively, but I mean, we've gotten some big plays on them through the air.
They really were able to move the ball very well on this drive. No fluky plays, some tough ones. They broke some tackles, and Ossining was able to punch it in. Let's see if they can get the extra point.
And Ossining lines up for his first point after a try of the game. Kick is up, and it's good. Ossining takes the 7 points. They're now down 7-19. John Jay on top. 1 minute and 31 seconds left here in this first quarter. All right, and we've got Ossining and John Jay getting ready to set up for the kickoff here. Ossining kicking off for the first time this game after their long touchdown drive, which led to a touchdown by number 21, James Sanchez, on the pass from number 17, Liam O'Connor, his first touchdown pass of the year. And here's a kickoff. It's a nice deep kick down to about the 15, fielded. He's got some room. That's a nice run there by number 13, Javon Reynolds. Doing a little bit of everything for them in this game.
Yes, he certainly is, playing on both sides of the ball and on the kickoff return. Brought down by number 1, Mark Clace for Ossining.
And that was a great return, and they get great starting field position down at their own 35-yard line. And we'll see what they do now. This is the first time that they've had their ball on their side of the field.
Yeah, not as good as their other possessions, but they'll take it.
I'm excited to see Ossining's defense now that their backs aren't against the wall. See if we see some more blitzes or something like that.
Yeah, and they definitely have to have a boost of confidence. Now they must feel like they're back in the game, 19-7. I'm sure, as we've seen, the coach is really pumping them up and trying to keep their heads in the game.
John Jay comes out in an I formation, 2 wide, handoff right up the middle, of course, to the senior. Tried to make something happen there, but Dietrich was brought down, and a great effort by the Ossining defense, holding firm along the line and containing Dietrich to just about a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9, John Jay.
John Jay really drives their legs, both on the offensive line and the running backs. They are pushing hard, but it was a good job by Ossining swarming to the ball, and eventually Elijah Jacobson, number 71, brought down the ball carrier. Ossining runs a 4-4 defense, which is a nice little wrinkle, something that you don't see a lot.
Different from years past at this program, as they're known more for, over the years, of their 5-2 defense. And looks like timeout for John Jay. We've got 41 seconds left here in this first quarter. John Jay is ahead of Ossining 19-7.
John Jay takes the timeout.
So you got to be encouraged, that first play that you saw by Ossining, clogging all the running lanes, had nowhere to go.
They did a great job. They swarmed to the ball. I look for John Jay to run again, but I think now that it's more of a tight game, or they're starting to sense that maybe the tide's shifting, maybe the momentum's going to Austin a little bit. I think they'll start to throw a little more. I believe we haven't seen them throw a pass aside from the one that went for the touchdown.
Yep.
So I could see them mixing it up themselves.
Well, I mean, when you're breaking in a first-year starting quarterback and you have a senior running back at the position, at running back, who has dominated and played very well for John Jay over these last couple of years, and he is, again, one of 3 seniors. I'm sure they'll continue to lean on him as this game progresses, but I'd like to see them open it up, see what this young quarterback can do for John Jay.
Most definitely. He's only thrown 1 pass, and right now he's got a 100% completion percentage.
Can't knock those numbers with a touchdown.
No, not at all.
All right, so John Jay comes back out ready to run their next offensive play. Looks like a broken I formation. Dietrich in the backfield. It's a handoff right to the fullback. Breaks the first tackle, but Ossining does a great job there. Number 44 makes a tackle one-on-one.
Made a nice move, busting the tackle of Justin Everett, but Fabian Miranda there to clean it up. Now they're looking at 3rd down.
Miranda.
So Ossining look to come up with their first big defensive stop here. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. And we're going to see what John Jay comes out. And they come out with a spread look. Dietrich in the slot to the left of the quarterback. Single running back, Latrell Goss. Anthony Calvin, rather. What a pick. What a pick by Ossining there. They tried to catch him. Ossining was ready, and a great interception by the defense. First one of the season. What a great heady play. Was that number 30 for Ossining?
Number 30, Donadio. Heard his name a lot tonight.
Yes. And that just pumped up Ossining even more. Scored on their last possession. A big interception on this last offensive series for John Jay. We've got 2 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Ossining has the ball in John Jay territory, ready to make some moves. Man in motion, and it's going to be a play-action pass. Downfield. It looks like the corner was holding, and there's the late penalty. The sideline ref didn't call it, but it looks like Ossining's going to get that pass interference on the far side to the intended receiver.
Number 7, Todd Bellotti for John Jay was there on the play. It looked like he did interfere a bit on the pass.
So it's going to be, a hold on the defense, preventing the receiver from running his route. So not necessarily pass interference, but you can't impede the receiver from running his route. So Ossining gets a nice break on that one, first down. And at the end of the first quarter, John Jay 19, Ossining 7.
That's it.
Just to go back real quick to the play that brought Ossining to this field position, it looked like there was some miscommunication by John Jay on that pass. They had 4 wide, and it was kind of a quick pass. The receiver didn't even see it coming, and Donadio made a nice play near the ground to pick that one off and get Ossining in great field position. And now with the penalty, they are starting at the 34-yard line.
And nice handoff right up the middle to the fullback, number 11. He's running, he's breaking some tackles, and he gets a nice gain. Holbrook with a run right up the gut, gets it all the way down to about the 18-yard line. Ossining moving the ball, showing some energy out here on this drive, Bob.
They must be really pumped up now. They've got the confidence going. They've got some momentum. They look to close this to a one-score game, and you can just tell by the Austin players that they have a lot more confidence flowing through them. They look a lot more enthusiastic, excited. As you know, these kids are really bouncing back right now.
Now, actually, because of the penalty, the first quarter actually did not end. So they were able to run one last play there. A great result for Ossining. And at the end of the first quarter now, we have John Jay 19, Ossining 7 as they switch sides of the field. All right, so we're getting ready to tee off here in this second quarter. Ossining has the ball down deep in the red zone. 18-yard line, first down after a nice run at the end of that first quarter, and it's a run right up the middle again to the fullback. Again, Shamar Holbrook carries up just past, just to about the 15-yard line. It's going to be second down and about 5, a long 5 for Ossining here, and they're moving the ball. Got to be impressed on these last couple of drives with Ossining.
Running the wing T offense. Got number 21, James Sanchez, in motion.
And it looks like it's going to be an option play. Is he going to keep it? He's going to keep it. And he's running. Breaks a couple tackles on the other side of the field. Gets down to about the 10-yard line. A nice little option run on there. Looks like it did catch the defense by surprise.
Third down and short. A lot of options on this play. I do expect them to run, though. They want to go with that bread and butter, really dictate the pace of this game. And even though they have had success passing the ball, I really think this is 4-down territory for them.
And here we go, coming up to the line real quick. 3rd and 2, man in motion, and it's a handoff right up the middle again to Holbrook, and
depends on the spot.
Looks like it's going to be close. Got to see where the referee spots it. It's going to be real close. And they're going to give it to him. It's going to be an Ossining first down. Picked up number 11, Shamar Holbrook.
Wow, I did not expect that, but first down Ossining.
They gave it to him. All right. So Ossining is now inside the 10-yard line. 4-down territory, as you mentioned. Let's see if Ossining can punch it in. Coming out now. Their own version of a broken I formation, their power formation. Holbrook gets a carry, breaks a couple, gets down real close. Looks like he's down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. And Ossining's in a really good position at the moment. Looks down to about actually closest to the 2, maybe even the 1.
Very nice run for Ossining. I expect them to run it right at them again, try and punch in this touchdown and bring it to a 1-score game.
Here we go. Ossining runs to the line, power formation. Another handoff. And it's a run up the middle, and it's an Ossining touchdown. Number 11, Shamar Holbrook. And another great drive by Ossining, Bob. They came here to play. There's going to be no blowout today. John Jay started fast, a couple of quick touchdowns, and Ossining has responded in a big way. Last couple of drives, touchdown drives on both, and they have impressed since their slow start here thus far, Bob.
Hey, a lot of it's about that field position. They've started in good areas the last couple drives. They had an interception on the last John Jay drive. Now they will look to close it to a 5-point game.
And the kick is up, and it is good. Right down the middle. Ossining now down 19-14 to John Jay. 9 minutes and 56 seconds left here in this first half.
Now, usually it's 4-down territory, but looking at these kicks by number 17, Liam O'Connor, the quarterback for Ossining, he's also their kicker. He's putting a good leg on the ball. They might not be, when they get down here again, if they get stopped on the first 3 downs, they could make some field goals. He looks to have a nice leg.
Definitely. We'll see if that comes into play later on, see if they have to come down to making that decision. But gotta like what you've seen from Ossining so far if you're a fan, and as a coach, I'm sure seeing back-to-back touchdown drives and stopping John Jay with a nice interception gives you a good boost moving forward.
Oh, most definitely. Now for John Jay, let's see how they rebound. I expect them to go back to what they did early on, regardless of the field position, and try and do some runs right up the middle and really get behind their big offensive line and go right at Ossining's D-line.
Got to be impressed with Holbrook, too, that last drive. Shamar Holbrook, number 11 for Ossining, senior running back, linebacker, really moving the offense downfield and putting in some work. And Ossining now set to kick off here, and it's going to be a squib kick, fielded at about the 20-yard line. And he looks like he's gaining some steam, and he breaks through the Ossining line. He might take it down. It's a run to the races. Can he finish it? And Ossining tackles him out of bounds. Huge return on that one. All the way into Ossining territory. Down and looks like inside the 5-yard line. What a return.
Wow, a few blocks and a cloud of dust. He was almost all the way into the end zone, but just barely got taken down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line by number 21, James Sanchez.
And who else? Dylan Burnett, number 15, bringing it back.
Most definitely. Diedrich, Dylan Burnett, Javon Reynolds, some of the key players for John Jay, making a lot of plays out there so far. John Jay's in great position. They can really take away back some of that momentum right here on this drive.
And suddenly the crowd is a little quiet here for Ossining as John Jay comes out, 2 wide receivers to the right of the quarterback. And he drops it. It's a fumble. It's a scramble for the ball. And who comes up with it? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Ossining comes up with it, but it looks like the refs are calling it down by contact. The refs are gathering at the line of scrimmage to discuss, but Ossining came up with it, and they're calling it down by contact. It's going to be John Jay ball. They lucked out there.
Wow. Oh, wow. For Ossining, they must feel like they couldn't catch a break there. They wish they could have gotten on that one after that long kickoff return. But John Jay remains in good shape. You can't have that happen, but they'll look to get a better snap. Second down, still at the 4-yard line. They're still in great shape.
Must have been the popcorn pregame.
Must have been the popcorn.
So here we go. John Jay coming back out here. I formation, hands off to the senior running back right up the middle. And White deviate from a good thing as he brings it in for the touchdown. Danny Diedrich, his 3rd score of the game.
Oh, wow. That's tough for Austin. That's demoralizing after you thought you got the ball back. But it was down by contact, and John Jay now goes back up by 11, 25-14, possibly 12 pending the PAT.
John Jay struggled and missed a couple of their extra point kicks the last go-arounds. We'll see if they can convert on this point after try. But you got to be impressed. Big day in this first half so far for Diedrich. We knew coming in this was going to be the plan, and they're holding true.
Oh, most definitely. They're very pleased with their offense so far. They just need to, stop making mistakes in some of the other areas.
And that point after try stays true down the middle, and now we have a John Jay lead, 26-14 over Ossining with 8 minutes and 55 seconds left here in this first half. All right, so we got both teams set up here. Ossining ready to receive John Jay. Looks like they're a man short. Nope, they're just waiting for the refs to blow the whistle. They're good to go. So John Jay's getting ready to kick off after that touchdown drive, capped off by the senior running back, Danny Diedrich, number 28. And the kick is off, and it's a deep one. And that's James Sanchez who fields it, running with a head full of steam, breaks a couple tackles, his legs are churning. Real nice return all the way down to about the 33-yard line. It's going to be Ossining first down. They're going to mark it at the 34, it looks like. And it's going to be first and 10 Ossining at that spot. Good field position for him.
Most definitely, and as the sun has set, it's a beautiful Friday night. The crowd has really picked up in the last 20 minutes or so. It's a packed house for this first football game. Everyone excited for the new season, Friday Night Lights. Got the Ossining Pride against John Jay Patriots. Scores 26-14 with 8:45 left in the second. First and 10, Ossining.
And here we go, back under center is O'Connor. Handoff right up the middle again. Why not? Number 11, Holbrook with the carry. Gets stuffed at the line. Gain of nothing, unfortunately. Down back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and 10 for Ossining.
Number 72, Anthony Masha, in on the tackle for the John Jay Patriots.
All right, so Ossining sets up now. Man in motion, and it's a handoff to the wingback, and he gets brought down after a gain of a couple. Looks like he got it back to about the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and long for Ossining here. And again, John Jay stuffing the run early on these downs, forcing Ossining into 3rd and distance.
Yeah, nowhere to go for sophomore running back Joshua Manning, number 5 on that play. They'll need to get a little bit of blocking on these plays. I look for them to pass here. They've had a lot of success so far in the game passing, so they got trips to the left.
Yeah, as you mentioned, trips to the left here, and the quarterback is Holbrook, and he's taking it out to the right. Looks like he's got an option to pass. He might just take it himself, puts his head down, and it looks like he lost the ball, but they're going to call it down at about the 39-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down for Ossining. And it was an interesting call. I like what I'm seeing here, you know. Versatile players who can play both quarterback, running back, receiver. We've seen Holbrook at fullback. We've seen him at receiver. We've seen him at quarterback in the Wildcat.
He's certainly a very talented player. They want to get the ball in his hands any way possible. So I definitely look for them to, in these situations, just get him anywhere with the ball, whether that be split out, quarterback, running back, and they're going for it on 4th down. Quick pass. Oh, and off the hand of number 21, James Sanchez, is a little behind him, so a tough one to reel in.
I mean, like you mentioned before, you know, 4-down territory, they're still on their side of the field, but down a couple touchdowns, try to see what you can pull. They have picked up 4th down conversion before, so why not try it? Comes up short for Ossining, but hopefully their defense can pick it up.
John Jay will take over at the Ossining 40. Again, they have Diedrich lined up in the backfield.
And here we go. Handoff right up the middle to Diedrich, staying true to their offense. He picks up a nice gain up the middle. Gets brought down after a gain of about 5, and it looks like he took it down just around the 35-yard line.
A couple Ossining players in on the tackle, most notably number 18, Edwin Bowers.
And it's just about 6 minutes, 30 seconds left here in this first half. John Jay on top of Ossining, 26-14. 2nd down now. And it's a handoff yet again to the senior running back right up the middle. He got a nice break. He breaks it outside, makes a couple tackles. Great vision, nice cutback. And he takes it all the way down. 34-yard touchdown run. Number 28, the senior, Danny Diedrich, his 4th score so far this first half.
Some great moves by Diedrich on that play. Good blocking, but especially in the open field, he was very dynamic on that play. Shifty, broke some tackles, didn't get touched a lot, and finished it off with a nice run.
If you're watching the line play, I know you're pretty excited. The offensive line for John Jay blocked magnificently on that, and you got to give Diedrich some credit. The open field moves and the speed to finish the play. Great run. And the point after try is up, and it is good. So that's going to bring the lead for John Jay, 33 to Ossining's 14, with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left here in this first half. All right, so Ossining setting up to field the kickoff here. 6 minutes, 13 seconds in the first half remaining, coming off of a John Jay scoring drive, capped off by a nice 34-yard run by senior running back Danny Diedrich. 4 touchdowns this first half for Diedrich. Very impressive so far, and we'll see if Ossining's offense can respond here after this kickoff. And it's a good one. And the whistles are blowing. It looks like it may be a penalty against John Jay. Offsides on the kickoff team. So they're going to push it back a few yards, and they're going to re-kick. Got to be good news for Ossining. Get some extra yards.
Hey, the field position has been huge in this game. It's really been the story of the game. Ossining's scores have come because of an interception, poor plays by John Jay. On the flip side, some blocked punts, and bad snaps have led to John Jay getting great field position and being able to cap off touchdown drives that started in Ossining field position.
All right, so after the penalty, they're kicking off from the 35-yard line now. And we're off. A nice kick yet again. The penalty didn't even matter. Real deep, and Ossining fields it. It looks like he's got some blockers there. Nice vision there. Nice wiggle room. And he gets down just to about the 37-yard line. Ossining some real solid field position after a nice return.
Number 2, Zaire Fields, a sophomore running back with a nice return there. It looked very quick and shifty for Ossining.
All right, so coming out here, Ossining has the ball 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the first half. And let's see them run this offense here. Put up some stats. Open it up a bit. Here we go, handoff right up the middle. And Holbrook gets bottled up for a gain of about 1 on that one. And John Jay, again, these early downs, playing great run defense.
Coach McCray again relaying a play to quarterback Liam O'Connor. John Jay has really done a great job at putting them in 3rd and long, 4th and long situations.
2nd and 9 now for Ossining, and it's going to be a handoff again to Holbrook, and he breaks the line of scrimmage. Gets down to about the 42-yard line here, so it's going to be 3rd. They're going to mark it at the 42 and a half. So it's going to be 3rd down and a short 5.
Holbrook almost got away, but got tackled by Anthony Masha.
And it's going to be 3rd down and manageable for Ossining. Now it's a fake handoff option. He pitches it to the running back in motion. Will he pick up enough for the first? It looks like he's going to be a yard short. Where do they mark it here? Looks like they marked it down at about the 47, 46. And the refs are discussing. They're giving it to Ossining. It's a 1st down. A nice call. Number 30, Donadio.
Yes, we've heard his name plenty tonight. He's making plays on both sides of the ball.
So big 1st down conversion there for Ossining. Whistles are blowing. Looks like the refs just telling John Jay sideline, just having a little discussion there. Maybe an explanation for the coach as to why they gave him the first, but here we go. 1st and 10 for Ossining in their own territory. Man in motion, and it's a fake. A pass to number 1, wide open, just a little far. I like it. I like the shots Ossining's taking downfield, try to open it up, and O'Connor's got a good arm on him.
That was a nice shot downfield, just a little bit too far. He can definitely work on that. He'll get that cleaned up, no doubt about it. He's made some nice passes otherwise.
And I'd like to see if they use some of Mark Clace, number 1's height. 6-foot receiver, senior, got some lanky arms, could go up and get the ball, and it's going to be a good matchup to see him all day against Dylan Burnett. Man in motion, hand up off the middle, nice, breaks past the line, breaks a tackle, breaks a couple more tackles, he keeps going, and he gets forced out of bounds. Number 11, Shamara Holbrook, with a great carry for Ossining, takes it all the way down into John Jay territory, down to about the 36-yard line.
Really love how Holbrook's running. He's running tough, not letting the first guy bring him down. Just keeps those big legs churning and going downhill, keeps his head down. Really nice run.
And it's going to be a timeout. John Jay, it looks like, going to discuss their defense here, give their guys a breather. And I got to say, I'm impressed by Holbrook, running hard and running like a senior who wants to win a big game.
Most definitely. He's their bell cow. They're going to give him the ball a lot. I also would like to see them just mix it up a little more. Maybe get Justin Sanchez the ball a little more on the wing. They're rotating a lot. They got him going in. Donadio, number 30, number 5. Joshua Manning is also lining up on the wing. But at the end of the day, Holbrook is the guy. He is their key player on offense. So they're going to keep riding him, but I believe if they keep mixing it up, they can get back in this game. They've done it once already. They can do it again.
One thing I've always noticed about the Ossining offenses and their fullbacks and running backs, they run hard. They churn those legs. They're running real hard. They love contact.
Oh,
and
most
it doesn't
definitely.
matter who's back there.
And given the wing T offense, there's a lot of opportunities to run the ball. That's what it is. The wing T is built on running the ball a lot, mixing in a bootleg here and there. Ossining has done a good job in this game, I believe, of spreading out at times because they have been able to pass the ball. We've seen a little bit of trips, mostly 4 wide at times when they decide to go pass. But again, here with the first down, they will be going with the wing T offense.
All right, so we've got 2 backs in the backfield, man in motion. Fake, another pass, I like it. Here we go, he throws it up. And it's intercepted, a big play by Dylan Burnett. Just keep saying this young man's name. Breaks a couple tackles and takes the ball down to about the 30-yard line as he's tackled out of bounds. There was a penalty on the play, so we'll see who it's on. For the
Penalty marker on the play.
So it looks like a penalty on the return.
Let's go! Oh!
It does. You still see the John Jay Patriots offense out there, and now the Ossining defense is coming out there. But this will back up the John Jay offense.
Yep, so that's exactly what it was, an illegal block in the back on the return. So they'll keep possession, John Jay will, but they're just going to push him back, which will benefit Ossining. Unfortunately, it's a turnover, but they drive him back. Looks like they're starting at about the 15-yard line, John Jay.
Tough throw to make. John Jay was all over it. They had a lot of players in the area. Real difficult catch for number 21 of Ossining, James Sanchez, to make.
And John Jay takes the ball 33-14, 4:28 left here in this first half. A lot of success on the ground. And let's see if that continues. And it's a handoff to the senior running back again. Finds a nice hole, shrugs off a tackle from the Ossining defender, and carries a few Ossining defenders down to about the 26-yard line. A big first down, hard run by the senior.
A lot of broken tackles. Another one added to the list. Number 18, Edwin Bowers, in on the tackle for the Ossining Pride.
Dietrich on his way to a very impressive first game of the season.
Most definitely. He's piling up the yardage and the TDs in this first half. They're going to keep riding him because he's having great success, and really the key for Ossining is just to really swarm their defenders there and wrap him up. Don't let him break those tackles.
And it's going to be a pitch now to Dietrich, and he shimmies past one defender, gets past another, gets into the open field. Just impressing, carry after carry. Another 10-plus yard gain, pushing the ball downfield down to about the about the 38-yard line. It's going to be first and 10 for John Jay, and they're moving the ball.
Yes, and they're pumping up the visiting crowd. Just heard a "Let's Go John Jay" chant from the other side.
John Jay is not that close, so you got to give it to their fans. They got a pretty solid turnout on their sideline.
Most definitely. It looks like a lot of fans turned out for them, and they have their whole cheerleading squad here.
Here we go. I formation, broken eye, 2 wide. He fumbles the ball, drops it again, and who's going to fall on it? It's going to be John Jay ball. But that's the second fumble by the quarterback, missing the exchange there between the center and the quarterback.
Tough time with the exchange a couple times we've seen here. But fortunately for John Jay, they have been able to recover it and minimize the damage.
Number 30 for John Jay, Patrick Whelan, came up a little bit limping on that play. He just came off the field there. Hopefully he's okay. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. John Jay. We got 3 minutes and 4 seconds left here in this first half. John Jay in control for the moment, 33-14 over Ossining.
Out on the field.
See you later.
All right, so here we go now. Ossining getting ready to set up now for this second down play. After that fumble by the quarterback on the center quarterback exchange. Here we go. And it's going to be a handoff. There's a new running back there. That's number 15, Dylan Burnett. Young man who caught the interception on the last drive for Ossining comes up here to spell Dietrich and picks up a nice chunk of change. That's a solid 8 yards or so there. So it's going to be third and manageable for John Jay.
Yeah, I expect John Jay to give Dietrich a blow pretty often now. He's been riding a lot this quarter, especially. The whole game, of course. He's piled up over 100 yards, has 4 touchdowns. But they need to spell him a little bit to save him for the rest of the game.
And nothing changing here personnel-wise for them. They come back out, and Burnett's in the backfield, makes a couple moves in the backfield, finds a hole, breaks a couple tackles there, spins out, and picks up a nice gain all the way into Ossining territory, down to about the 40, I'm going to mark it at the 42-yard line, it looks like.
I love the drive from both teams' running backs. Both stables of running backs are running very hard, breaking tackles, making moves. It's very impressive to see for some young kids out there. You know, you have the experienced Dietrich, but also some of these Ossining running backs are young sophomores, and they're making the most of their opportunities. So
here we go again, broken I formation. It's going to be a play action. The quarterback looks to the outside. Number 13's on the sideline. Nice catch. Tries to spin out of it there, but gets brought out, and it looks like he did pick up the first. No, they're going to mark him down, and he went to the sideline, dropped right down, and he looks like he may be injured, unfortunately, on the play, but big catch and run there brings it down. It's going to be 2nd and 1 for John Jay.
Injury timeout.
And they are going to indeed take an injury timeout as the young man was on the field. You never want to see this happen at any level. Hopefully it's not that serious, just something he needs to stretch out or something on the sideline. But we're going to take a timeout here for the injury. Just under 2 minutes, 1 minute and 53 seconds left here in the first half. John Jay 33, Ossining 14. All right, after that quick injury timeout, John Jay back on the ball. Quick snap, handoff, pitch rather. Breaks a tackle, nice stiff arm there in the backfield. Breaks another one there. He's running, he's breaking a bunch of tackles in the and he is gone. What an impressive one, Dylan Burnett, just breaking tackles en route.
Quick little pitch, got some good blocks up front, but really John Jay is doing a phenomenal job, whether it's Dietrich or Burnett or any of their other running backs, of making some moves in the open field, making defenders miss, and really finishing off runs nice, and a good plunge into the end zone for John Jay.
Now there is a bit of laundry on the field, I see. It looks like at the line of scrimmage, it looks like we're bringing it back, maybe holding on the play. And yep, that's what it looks like. So the touchdown is nullified. It's going to bring him back 10 yards. And it's got to be disappointing for John Jay, definitely. Points off the board.
Most definitely, but they still have an opportunity to score. 1:42 left in the half. But really a big break, a sigh of relief for Ossining to not give up another touchdown and possibly be down more than 3 scores going into the end of the first half.
Burnett is truly impressing so far with his carries, doing a lot of work there, and that was a very impressive touchdown run. Unfortunately, gets called back, and Dietrich is back at tailback. And it's a handoff to the fullback, actually. Something a little different there. Everyone was expecting Dietrich, and the fullback ends up picking up a nice bunch of yards. Gets it to, again, 3rd and manageable for John Jay, down to about the, what is that, the 36-yard line.
John Jay going to stick to what they're doing very well. Runs up the middle, mix it up a few pitches.
And here comes another pitch just on cue. He spins out of that. It's a nice group effort to bring down Dietrich there, but there's a lot of flags flying. So we'll see what the call is on the field.
Those flags came from every direction there. All of a sudden, there's like 3 or 4 flags out on the field.
So it's going to be a block in the back, and it's going to be against John Jay. So again, Penalties pushing this offense back a little bit in inopportune times on this drive.
Most definitely. They've had a bunch of penalties on this drive. One nullified the touchdown run from just a few moments ago, 40-yard touchdown run. And now it looks like they're going to be about at midfield with under 50 seconds left to go.
So we go from the about 36, 35-yard line all the way back to about the 50. So that's a 15-yard penalty, and that really kills them. We'll see how they respond here on this play. It's going to be 3rd and 16 from the 50-yard line, coming out too wide.
Let's go,
Too wide to the near side of the field.
And it's a play-action pass. Stepping up, looking downfield, a nice throw. And it's an amazing pass. Unfortunately, a drop by the receiver on that one. But you can't say anything about the quarterback. That's a really nice throw and great protection by the line.
Right, it really was. Number 1, Mark Clay saw the ball but wasn't able to make a play on it and just unable to reel it in. Tough for John Jay. Going to have to punt now on 4th down at midfield.
Big opportunity lost there. You live and you learn. But you know, Ostening's going to be really pleased with that, and they should get the ball back with some decent field position depending on what happens on this punt.
I think more than likely Hassan will play a conservative depending on how the return goes, but I expect them to just let the ball bounce and kneel it once their offensive drive begins.
And John Jay to punt now. Real close on the block there was Ostening. No one back to field the ball. And it looks like it's going to roll dead down to about the 18-yard line. We've got 21 seconds left here in this first half.
Is that there was 21 and a half seconds left when before the ball was snapped. So I don't know if there was a clock issue there or not, but I didn't see any time run off.
Yep, the referee is pointing to his watch on the field, indicating that there is a discrepancy in the time there. So good catch on that, Bob. Good job.
Yeah, well, you're the play-by-play man looking out there. You got to, tell the audience what you're seeing and what they also see on the camera.
21.5 seconds left.
All right, so Ossing's going to come out here. Looks like they're going to just run it down.
Some timekeeping issues here. Had to run off some of the clock for the last play, but it certainly wasn't a 12-second punt.
And ref is coming over to tell the clock here what should be up there. Going with 13 seconds left on the clock. 13 seconds here in this first half. And Ostening has the ball in their own territory, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. All right, so after all that, we're where we should be. Time is right, ball placement is good, teams are set. And this should be the final play of the half. Man in motion, handoff right up the middle. Nice little run is gonna end the half here. Gain of about 1 on that. And the team's just gonna take it to the locker room. We are at halftime here at Ossining High School. John Jay is up 33-14 over Ossining at halftime. And we are back. The second half just about to get underway here as both the teams come out of the locker room ready to go here in the first game of both of their seasons. John Jay 33, Ossining 14. Bob, what are you looking for some keys here in the second half of this game for Ossining on the defensive side of the ball as they're kicking off?
Well, I think for Austin, what they want to do is stress the fundamentals. I feel like I can just picture Coach Dan Rickey, Coach Roger Rowe, Coach McRae, etc., really just stressing to their players, hey, put a hat on, a helmet on defense, take up these blocks, and wrap up. Really just wrap up on the tackles, make sure you have your man, don't let him go. Really just stress some of the fundamental aspects.
And it's an onside kick for Austin, trying to be sneaky here, and it's a pile up at the 45-yard line. Who comes up with it? Let's see. Never a dull moment here in Austin, huh, Bob?
No, certainly not. A lot of fireworks in the first half with 47 points on the board.
And John Jay comes up with the ball. They'll have it. Very favorable field position. I like the sneakiness. I like it. Austin's doing some stuff there, trying to pull something out of their bag, and I like it. But unfortunately comes up just short. John Jay will have the ball. 1st and 10. Their side of the field, 45-yard line. Now, Bob, we mentioned Austin's defense. What about John Jay offense?
John Jay offense, I believe they're going to continue doing the same things they were doing in the first half. Runs up the middle with Dietrich, lead blocking, just be strong up the middle.
Well, we'll see if that comes true here. 1st down, and it's a handoff. Of course, ain't true, and Dietrich breaks it outside, puts his shoulder down, picks up a big 1st down. First carry of the second half here, picks up right where he left off. A big 11-yard gain on the first carry of this second half for Dietrich, and here we go.
Running off left tackle again, big John Ryan on that left side at left tackle, number 71. Also, as far as John Jay goes, for them, they probably just stress at halftime, hey, let's not beat ourselves. That's really what put Austin back in the game, is turnovers and just some sloppy play.
All right. So keep the turnovers down and pound the rock. And here we go. Back-to-back handoffs right up the middle for Dietrich. Finds some space and pick up a nice 3 to 4 yard gain there. Going to take it down to the Austin about the 41-yard line. 2nd down.
Number 30, Joseph Donadio, and 79, Paul Casalino in on the tackle for Austin.
So good start so far. 20 yards on 2 carries pretty much. It's like 15 yards on 2 carries for Dietrich. Start the second half right. Take some pressure off this young quarterback. You got a 33-14 lead. Let's see if they deviate from this plan so far. It's worked for them. So they got 2 wide, I formation, handoff to the fullback, and a great play behind the line of scrimmage. Number 18, Edwin Bowers for Ossining with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
One of the best plays defensively so far for Austin in the game. They got off their blocks very quick, swarmed to the ball, and held them to only 1 yard, if anything at all.
Now, if you're Ossining, you got to utilize some of that quickness, because obviously we see that John Jay has some more girth on their offensive line. But as we know, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coach Rowe so fittingly told us it's not about size in high school.
No, and it certainly is not. It's also sometimes not even about talent. It's who can execute the best.
So here we got another I formation handoff. New running back in the backfield is Burnett. And he carries it, but it looks like he's going to come up short of the first down by about a yard or so. So it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1. So Ossing's defense holds up strong. Is John Jay going to punt? It looks like their offense stays on the field. We're looking at a 4th and about 1, maybe less, from Ossing's 35-yard line.
If you're John Jay, you want to just keep pounding the ball away. You want to control this game and really stick it to Austin and keep moving this ball. If they convert this, this will be huge for them going forward and really make it tough for Austin.
And it's a handoff up the middle again. Burnett, he bounces it outside. He finds some room to run. He's off the outside. He's breaking it downfield. Is he going to get caught? He gets brought down, right down inside the Ossining 10. A huge run right off the right side of the line. Great vision by Burnett on that, and he picks up huge yardage all the way down inside Ossining's 5-yard line, 10-yard line, and it looks like there's an injury on the field opposite sideline. Can't tell who it is from here, but it's a young man for John Jay looking injured.
When John Jay's gotten outside of the tackle box, they've gotten 10, 20, 30-yard runs consistently.
And of course, it's not a coincidence, seeing as their tackles are the strength of that offensive line, but they are also having success up the middle. So just all around, a good day for their offensive line. They got 2 wide to the right, I formation, handoff to Dietrich right up the middle, and Austin does a great job stuffing that hole, keeping him the game to a minimum. 2nd and goal for John Jay at about, looks like the 8 or 9 yard line. Not even. Wait a second, that's the 4-yard line, sorry. Kind of hard to see from the sideline.
It's the first game of the year for us too, not just the players.
But don't worry, folks, we had a great training camp, and we're ready for a full football season too.
Most definitely.
So here we go, John Jay, back out too wide to the right side of the field, I formation, and it's a handoff right up the middle to the star running back, and again, Ossining coming up big, penetration, keeping gains to a minimum, a big third down and goal coming up for Ossining.
And another reason why I said Austin's probably stressing the fundamentals is there's not much exotic play calls coming from the John Jay side. It's a lot of just inside runs, right up the middle in an I formation. And aside from that, just some pitches off tackle.
And John Jay again, too wide, this time to the left of the quarterback, I formation, and it's a handoff to Dietrich again. He bounces it outside, and he's going to take it in, barely touched for a touchdown, but there are some flags on the field. We're going to see if this comes back.
Now there, they mixed it up a little bit. I saw some pulling guards, they ran a counter, and it may have gotten a touchdown, but we see Laundry on the field.
It was a penalty, Bob, and it looks like it was a holding against John Jay, so that will take the points off the board, as had happened on the other side of the field before halftime. Burnett's touchdown that got called back. This happens yet again. So now pushes back. Good news for Ossining, so we're looking at now a third down and goal right around the 11-yard line, it looks like.
Moves the ball back to the 15-yard
Again,
line.
15-yard line.
If anything, John Jay is just shooting themselves in the foot. They need to clean up these mistakes. That's really what's kept Austin in the game most recently, is just not being able to finish off drives and getting a lot of penalty calls.
All right, so here we go, third and goal. We got wide receivers, I formation, handoff to the running back, and Ossining gets great penetration. The first one on the ball for Ossining was number 53, Isaiah De Jesus. Great penetration, and Ossining comes up with a huge stop on third down.
Brings up fourth down.
If Austin could just get more consistent plays like that, they'd be right there. And they certainly can get back in this game if they can hold them to a field goal here. It's a long try, though. Difficult for a kicker in high school.
Oh, we'll see here. Looks like they're lining up for it. We'll see if they're going to go for it or if it'll be a trick play.
You never know in high school football.
Looks like the left side of the line moved, but no call here. The kick is up, and it is wide, no good. Ossining will take the ball. John Jay comes away from this series with no points as their touchdown was called back on a holding call. Ossining will take over on downs at the 15-yard line. We are here in the third quarter, 6 minutes and 52 seconds left. Ossining takes over, down 14-33. John Jay on top. All right, so here we go. Ossining getting ready for their next offensive series. One wide out, single back, man in motion. And it's a handoff up the middle. Looks like he got past the line. A nice gain down to about the 27-yard line. It's going to be second down and 3 for Ossining.
17-yard line, it'll be second and 4.
And the ball is snapped. Here we go, run up the middle. He's turning his legs, carrying a couple defenders. A nice run right up the gut. And of course, who else would it be? Number 11, Shamar Holbrook, senior, leading the way. And are they going to give Ossining the first? And yes, they do. It's a first down Ossining, a big first down conversion by the senior.
Very key for Ossining. Just matriculate the ball downfield, run that wing T offense.
And here we go, another handoff now. It's number 21 with the ball, James Sanchez, one of the heroes on Ossining's earlier touchdowns, and gets brought down just at about the 35-yard line. Should be second and a manageable 5.
Good for down 5. It'll be second down.
And I like the pace of the Ossining offense. The lineup here yet again, ready to go. Man in motion. It's a handoff right up the middle to the fullback Holbrook. Pushes a couple guys forward. And he's going to bring it down to about the 38-yard line. It's going to give Ossining third and short. Looking to get another first down and keep this drive going.
Looks like number 72, Anthony Masha, is coming off the field for the John Jay Patriots. Looks like he might have hurt his left forearm on the play. Number 63, Besmir Lativaj, comes in to replace him on the defensive line. And if you're Ossining, you got to be encouraged by this start on this offensive drive. Getting 4 or 5 yards a clip, really moving the ball well right now.
All right, man in motion. It's going to be a pitch to the man in motion, which is Sanchez, and great penetration by John Jay. It looks like that was number 28 doing a little bit of... Danny Dietrich with the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Going to be fourth down for Ossining.
It looked like there was a little confusion on the play. Number 17, O'Connor, the quarterback, was motioning for Sanchez to come from the wing side. He eventually did, but wasn't able to gain any yards on the play.
So here we go. Ossining man in motion. Handoff right up the middle. Holbrook tries to cut back to find a lane. He finds one and he breaks through. What second effort by Holbrook to keep it going and gets all the way down to the 40-yard line. John Jay's side of the field. What effort. What effort.
Great effort. Couldn't even see him in there in that pile of John Jay
Ossining man in motion.
But he broke
Handoff
free.
right up the middle. Holbrook tries to cut back to find a lane. He finds one and he breaks through. What second effort by Holbrook to keep it going and gets all the way down to the 40-yard line. John Jay's side of the field.
Showing that he has a nice blend of power and speed.
Most definitely. And now there's going to be an exchange. Gets fumbled between the center and quarterback. Looks like the quarterback dropped it on that one. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Big heartbreak for Ossining after that big run.
Very tough break for Ossining. You're really moving the ball well, gained 3 first downs. But now they turn over the ball to John Jay. And I look for John Jay to really put an exclamation point on this game here. 3:50 left in the third quarter, up 19. If they can put a touchdown drive here together, they're in cruise control for the rest of this game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 33-14, John Jay over Ossining at the moment. And it looks like John Jay is calling their first time out of the half. Looks like the coaches want to discuss before they send the offense out onto the field. So 3:50 left here in this third quarter. How do you feel about what you've seen so far from both sides? You discussed Ossining trying to shut down the run up the middle a bit, and we've seen John Jay bouncing it outside a little bit more on this drive. What do you think moving forward here on this defensive drive? What do you think these coaches are telling the front seven on that defense?
Well, defensively, they need to just realize that they've had some success. They can play with John Jay. Early on, they had some tough breaks. They weren't able to bring the guys down to the ground. But I think they do have some confidence now. They've been able to stop John Jay on occasion, and they're still in this game. They just can't let themselves get too down about the turnovers. They just had an unfortunate play. Quarterback exchange with the center didn't work out. And John Jay has made some mistakes. They can stop them. It's not impossible to do. But John Jay, if you're them, I think you just keep going with what's worked for you.
All right, well, here we go. John Jay coming out. Looks like too wide. We're missing a player there. And it looks like they got their fullback in, so here we go. Dietrich back at running back. Hard cadence by the quarterback. And it looks like it does indeed work. Draws them offside, so they're going to call... Yep, they're going to call encroachment on the defense. So some free yardage for John Jay there. They got 5 free yards.
Ossining coach is definitely not happy with number 18, Edwin Bowers, jumping off sides. They immediately called in number 16, Ahmad Badi, to replace him in the lineup.
So now John Jay going to get some free yards. First and 5 now from their own 45-yard line. Same formation, strong eye. Hard cadence, and a handoff right up the middle to Dietrich. Puts his head down, barrels into an Ossining defender, falls forward for a nice little gain there. Looks like he's going to come up just short of the first, down to about the 49-yard line. It's going to be second and short for John Jay.
And it is interesting. They weren't doing this earlier in the game, but so far on these first 2 plays, they've gone with a longer snap count. to try and draw the Austrian defense off sides and get them really thinking about what's going to happen. They need to not pin their ears back. They need to wait and await the snap and not be so jumpy.
So here we go, same formation, pro I, handoff up to Dietrich, and great penetration by Ossining. Dietrich does fall forward, however, to pick up the first down. Real good drive on his legs there to get that first down after being initially hit behind the line.
Very strong run by Danny Dietrich. It looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he kept churning and was able to get the yardage needed for a first down.
So now we got a 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line for the John Jay offense, as the coach sends his quarterback back to his huddle with the play. Related to his teammates, we got just under 3 minutes here on the clock left in this third quarter. John Jay 33, Ossining 14. Back out here 2 wide, I formation. Hard cadence, and they did it again, and it looks like it's a false start now on John Jay, so we get both sides of the coin.
Yes, exactly, and now that's the problem when you're going with a longer snap count. You might yourself jump off sides, have a false start. Again, John Jay, a little too many penalties. They need to clean that up.
So we've had a few holding calls in them, blocks in the back on the interception return, this false start. But that's pretty much been their only, issues this game so far, has been those penalties and the mistakes on their end. But they do hold a commanding 33-14 lead. Here we go, 1st and 15 from their own 45. Handoff to Dietrich right up the middle. And he gets met in the backfield by a slew of Ossining defenders. Just a team effort, everyone around the ball. Holds him for a gain of about 1 on that carry, 2nd down.
Looks like number 54, Justin Everett, in on the tackle for Ossining, as well as number 75, Charles Rios.
Stop by Rios.
All right, so the clock is ticking. The quarterback gets his play from the coach on the sideline for John Jay. Ossining's ready to go. So we got 2nd and long now for John Jay. Coming back out, 2 wide, either side of the line. Quarterback single in the pro I formation, hands off up the middle again to Dietrich. Finds some wiggle room, he keeps going. Keeps those legs moving, picks up some nice yardage. Dietrich gets down past the 50 into Ossining territory, down at about the 40, it looks like the 46.5-yard line.
Very key run by Dietrich. Puts him in a good situation, 3rd and 6. I was really interested to see what would happen there, because if it was 3rd and long, I don't know that John Jay is really comfortable passing the ball right now, given the interception earlier. They've made some mistakes, but now they're in a much more manageable position where they can run the ball still.
Well, it's 3rd and a long 6, it looks like. And same formation, handoff right up the middle to Dietrich, and again Ossining meets him up. And it looks like they're going to hold him up before he gets to the first down marker. We're looking at a 4th and what looks like 2, down at about the 42-yard line.
Looked to be the exact same play. The guard and center pulling from the right side over to the left, running off the left tackle. And now it brings up a crucial 4th down for the Ossining defense.
If Ossining can stop him, that'll give him some huge momentum going into the 4th quarter as the clock is winding down. Formation, handoff up to Dietrich. He breaks a tackle in the backfield and gets just past the 40-yard line. No, the coaches aren't too pleased about that for the Ossining sideline, hoping for a big stop on 4th, but a big play yet again. Huge conversion on 4th down, and this drive keeps going. Winding down, just about to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Looks like they're just going to let it run out. We're looking at a 33-14 John Jay over Ossining lead at the end of the 3rd quarter here at Ossining High School. It's a great game so far. A lot of big plays on both sides. John Jay leading currently 33-14 over Ossining. And again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to OHS Sports. My name's Dan Kornhauser.
And my name is Bobby Hunt.
And we're here out at Ossining High School. A beautiful night, a lot of fans, good turnout, both sides. And we flip the field here. John Jay will begin the 4th with possession. And they have a fresh set of downs after converting on 4th.
Now, in that previous play, Donadio, number 30, came off the field, so number 5, Joshua Manning, is that linebacker.
And we have number 15, Dylan Burnett, back at running back, and he churns out a great run, picks up a nice solid 10 yards on that first carry there of this first quarter.
Good to see him back out there on the other side of the field in the third quarter. It looked like he got hurt. A lot of the players dropped to one knee. But fortunately, he wasn't hurt too bad, and he's back out on the field.
And one thing you do notice, if you're John Jay, you got to be happy if you're them. They do seem to have some solid depth at the running back position.
They certainly do. They only line up 2 in the backfield, but they've been rotating in guys. Burnett's been impressive, and they've given the ball to the fullback occasionally too.
And here we go, hand up at the middle. Burnett with a nice run, breaks a couple. Solid vision on that carry, and he takes it down to the Ossining 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him down at.
Burnett on the carry. This will first down.
First down, John Jay looking to put a cap on this one with 11 minutes left. They're at the Ossining 25-yard line.
All right, Burnett's still in at tailback. 2 wide receivers either side of the offensive line. Now we got a strong eye broken pitch to that side. Burnett, a nice little hurdle there, and nice pickup. Gain of about 3 on that carry. It's going to be second down.
Brought down by Everett.
And Burnett toting the rock pretty well. It's impressive. It looks like he's going to come out now, and Dietrich's going to come back onto the field.
Number 54 for Ossining, Justin Everett, brought him down on the last play. John Jay going to keep running a lot of the same plays. They're not going to pass the ball. They don't really need to. Up 19 in Ossining territory.
So now we have 2 wide to the right side of the line. I formation, handoff to the senior running back. He takes it up the field. He's got some daylight. He gets past the arm tackle, and he almost falls into the end zone. He's going to get down to about the 1 or 2 yard line.
Beltran in on the tackle.
Very nice play by John Jay. It looked like an Ossining defender was there, but Dietrich just hit that next gear and was off to the races and brought down just about at that 2 yard line is where they're going to spot the ball.
So we've got just under 10 minutes here in this game remaining. Ossining down to John Jay, 33-14. And John Jay in very nice position right now with 4 downs and 2 yards to go before they hit pay dirt.
For Ossining. This will be the backbreaker if John Jay puts one in. They line up 3 in the backfield.
And there's a penalty right at the back of the end zone.
Here comes the 50-50.
Illegal substitution. Illegal procedure on the offense. Looks like they're going to push the offense back, so that definitely does help Ossining out for sure.
Okay, get out your glasses and your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. The winning number is.
All right, so it looks like they get a 5 yard penalty on the play, so it pushes them back to about the 7 yard line. So it's going to be first down for John Jay at the 7.
4, 2, 5, 3. 5, 4, 9, 4, 2, 5, 3. Come and get your money. How much?
And we got 3 running backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to the senior Dietrich. He looks to go off the side of the line, but he gets tackled. Good containment by Ossining there.
Number 11, Shamar Holbrook on the tackle. He's been the star for Ossining on the offensive side of the ball, but a nice wrap-up on that play. And a great play for Ossining. Brought them back a few yards. It's now second down and goal from the 7.
All right, so the quarterback comes back to the huddle, sets it up. Looks like they're coming out with 2 wide receivers to the right side of the field is John Jay. Pro eye, Dietrich in the backfield, hands it off. He goes out to the outside. And the DN is tried to contain him. Dietrich breaking a few tackles out on the outside. Will he punch it in? He does not get it into the end zone, but he's close.
Tremendous effort by Dietrich. It looked like that play was dead. He kept trying to bounce it out, maybe get to the pylon, decided to cut it up, got some yardage, but still a little short of the touchdown that they really wanted to put an end to this game.
Gotta love the effort you're seeing by both of these teams. You know, running backs, guys churning hard. Both lines playing hard. And it looks like there's an injury on the far side of the field.
Timeout for injury.
Is that Dietrich who's down?
I believe it is. I hope not.
Dietrich Looks like he's down on the far side of the field by the pylon in the end zone, laying on his back. It's been a couple of these. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something. He's had a fantastic day.
Game action, and Diedrichs ran the ball a lot tonight. He's well over 20 carries, possibly into 30 carry range. And great news, he's walking off the field under his own power right now, going to the John Jay sideline. I would imagine this is the last we've seen of him today. Could be wrong, but with a 19-point lead, only 8 minutes left, I think his day may be done. And a great day at that.
That wouldn't be a stretch by any means if that was the case. And for the moment, he's going to go to the sideline. Glad to see, like you said, he walked off on his own accord. But the game must go on here. The new tailback in the backfield, who else? Number 15, Dylan Burnett. Just under 8 minutes left here in the game. Burnett in the I formation. They hand it off to the fullback right up the gut. And it's a touchdown. John Jay. They punch it in from a few yards out there.
Great
After
blocking.
the penalty, they punch it in. We got a 39-14 lead, John Jay over Ossining. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game.
It's a real tough one for Ossining. They were hanging tough. I mean, they stopped them on a few plays, brought them back a few yards. But there was a tremendous push by that John Jay O-line on that play. I also saw the fullback get a nice block up the middle. And they punch one in to put the score to a 25-point lead, 39-14.
The one thing I'm seeing a lot with these running backs that I'm thoroughly enjoying is seeing the physicality of how they run. The fullbacks, running backs. I think I said that before with the effort, but the physicality, putting their head down. The kick is up. It looks like Ossining may have gotten a touch on it, but it is good. We have a 40-14 lead.
Number 21 for Ossining, Sanchez. He keeps coming off that side very fast. He's come close to blocking a few already. And I believe he did get a hand on the first PAT early in the first quarter by John Jay. So quick player. He's made some plays in this game that have been very nice.
Sanchez has impressed for Ossining as a receiver out of the backfield. On defense, he's had a couple nice tackles, and he looks good. And he's only a junior, so we'll see him again here at Ossining next year. And he's got a nice season shaping up ahead of him. A good week 1, even though the team is not in a favorable position. Sanchez has played well. You've seen some good things for Ossining.
Yes, both sides have very good positives to take away. Obviously more for John Jay, being that they have a 40-14 point lead. Right now for Ossining, what they need to do is just keep running their offense, I believe. You're not going to give up. You certainly think, hey, we can get down the field, but ultimately it's a tough hill to climb. I think they really look to just execute on this next drive and see if they can get a touchdown, no matter how long it takes.
All right, so we'll see here. Ossining is set to receive the kickoff. We're just waiting for the referees to give us the okay. All right, so that's the whistle. John Jay's ready to kick off. Now, John Jay has had a couple of penalties on the kickoffs as well.
That is true. And they've had some questionable kicks, some squibs that didn't go very far, and some nice returns by Ossining as well.
And this one's going to be a deep kick, and it is fielded by Sanchez at about the 15-yard line. Head full of steam, nice block on the edge, trying to bounce it outside. Looks like that may have been a little bit of a face mask, but there's going to be a no call on there. A good one-on-one tackle on the return there.
Very nice tackle by Javon Reynolds. Fought off the block on the kickoff and was able to make a nice wrap-up tackle on Sanchez. Ossining will begin from the 21-yard line. Now, I could see them trying to pass down the field, try and get a quick score. But at the same time, I could also imagine they just want to make sure that they clean things up, get the quarterback-center exchange under control, and run smoothly.
Well, they came on their base offense. They run a play action, and he's open deep. Is number 1 with a one-handed grab. What a catch. He's to the races. Can he do it? He finishes it off. Number 1, Mark Classe. What a one-handed grab. What a touchdown. And talk about invigorating this crowd. Ossining, touchdown, huge play.
What a fantastic catch by Mark Classe. It looked like it might have been a little too far, but it was just enough in his range where he could pick it with his one hand.
Well, they came on their base offense.
A great
they
run
run a
after the
play
catch,
action,
an
and he's
extra 40
open
yards
deep.
on
Is
the
number
play.
1 with a one-handed grab. What a
And now
catch.
Ossining
He's
may
to
have
the
a chance.
races. Can he do it? He finishes it off. Number 1, Mark
And the crowd will love what they
Classe.
just saw. Big play for Ossining.
One-handed
Biggest play of the game
grab.
so far.
What a touchdown.
Albeit a little late, but you gotta love it. You gotta love what you see as an Ossining fan.
7.5 minutes left. No, this is still very much a ball game. You got a very quick touchdown. That's very exciting. That shows you can get down the field quick. And they've been passing very well. They know now, hey, if we just get some stops, we can do it.
Now we saw here Ossining try to shift into a formation, try to catch the defense off balance, but it looks like they called a timeout just before the snap of the ball. Want to make sure everyone's on the same page, it looks like. So, all right, so we just saw Ossining come out in what looks like trick formation. You think they'd come out and go for two?
I think they do. I think given the situation, being down 19 still isn't beneficial to them. You can never count on extra points in high school or even college, really. Heck, even the pros now. So they get a 2-point conversion. You're down 18. That's potentially only 3 scores. I mean, it's a lot. It's an uphill battle, don't get me wrong. But that's 3 touchdowns as opposed to, having to make all your extra points and be down 19. I think they go for it.
All right, let's hope for the best here. Again, great play by number 1 on that last one, Class A. Just fantastic overall. And actually, that'll be big on tape for John Jay coming up this upcoming week because everyone bit on that play action.
It's so hard on that play action. It was great play call.
Here we go. Austin comes out. They pitch the ball to who else? Number 11, Holbrook. And he just gets eaten up. No good on that one. Great penetration by the big boys up front for John Jay.
And just to go back to the touchdown play, very, very great play by Ossining, great play choice. As I was talking about, kind of in between, would you, try and go for it, pass downfield, or would you try and run your base offense? What they did is go in their base offense, but they ran a play action, went over top, got the big play that they needed to get back in this game, and now they're down 20 with 7.5 left to go.
So we've got 7 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this fourth quarter. John Jay leads Ossining 40-20 after Ossining's huge touchdown pass from senior Mark Class A from number 17, senior quarterback Liam O'Connor.
Now, do we potentially see another little onside kick by Ossining, a little squibber up the middle?
Well, it looks like John Jay's anticipating that. They got 5 men up front, and they moved everybody up quite a bit. So they're really looking for that. I don't think Ostining's going to catch him off guard, but we've been surprised before, Bob.
Most definitely. Now they line out, look to kick it regularly, but you could still see an onside kick.
And no onside kick. He does boot it deep. Fields it at about the 15-yard line is number 15, Dylan Burnett. A nice little back juke. Breaks a bunch of tackles there. Nice move. Tries to cut it upfield, and he's still going. And just great effort by Burnett on that one to break through a bunch of tackles, take it all the way down to the Ossining 38-yard line. And yet again, going to have some solid starting field position.
Burnett and Diedrich just refused to go down on that first tackle. They've been breaking tackles left and right all day. Very impressive. They're shifty, they're nifty, and they do have the power to back it up as well.
And number 7, Isaiah Beltran for Ossining, sophomore, comes limping off the field. Hopefully he's all right. He's talking to Luis, the trainer over here. And now we have 7 minutes, 20 seconds left. John Jay's offense is taking the field now. Going to see, is it Burnett? Yep, it's going to be Burnett in at running back. And it looks like for the most part their starters are still in the game here. I formation, handoff to Burnett up the middle, and a nice hole, yet again, a nice cut by Burnett. And if it weren't for the referee there, Burnett might have just sped downfield. He had to cut back to not hit the ref.
Yeah, he slowed him down. Mark Classe on the tackle was able to bring him down. But the referee definitely did help out Ostining's defense on that play. Ostining's really going to have to start getting some stops because they can't let these first downs keep happening.
Well, the sideline's the 12th man, fans are the 13th man, and the ref is the 14th man?
I guess.
So here we go. John Jay keeping true to form, coming out I formation. Burnett in at tailback. It's going to be another handoff to Burnett, looking to bounce it outside. Great penetration by Ossining. Number 53, De Jesus, again, getting good penetration. And Ossining has a man down. It's number 54, Justin Everett, slow to get up. And he got up on his own accord. He's walking off the field a bit slow, limping off, but hopefully he's going to be all right. Maybe just a little scared, nothing crazy.
Hopefully at worst a sprained ankle. That's what it is, limping a little bit on that right leg, but he's a tough kid. Looks like he'll be all right.
So now with that injury, we come out of that injury timeout. We're looking at a 2nd and long from about the Ossining 47.5-yard line. And we've got a strong I formation, handoff to Burnett, taking his time, nice patience there. Found the crease and pick up a nice gain. Gets him down to 3rd and long, but it's a little more manageable. We're looking at 3rd and 7 about.
Certainly, and I expect John Jay to run the ball here. Got a nice lead. 3rd and 7. No need to really pass here and just keep running down that clock and be conservative.
And here we come out, 2 wide receivers. Looking at the broken I formation again for John Jay. And staying true, it's a handoff off the side, and he breaks out into open field. Burnett with some nice moves and some great vision to cut it back. Can he take it all the way? Burnett gets run out of bounds, almost takes it all the way. Great individual effort, solid vision, and great speed to get to the outside, cut it back, and just another weapon for that John Jay offense. It looks like, as Dietrich's not in the game, but got to be impressed by Burnett all day.
Very dynamic runs by both him and Dietrich. He's a little more shiftier than Dietrich, but Dietrich's done a great job of running between the tackles all day. That's really been his strong suit, but just tremendous on the outside by Burnett.
That was a huge run, sets him up on the 5-yard line for 1st and goal. And it's Burnett again at running back, gets the handoff, gets popped, but he'll take it down to about the 2-yard line, 3-yard line, game of a couple. And as you mentioned before, that big run by Burnett, gain of just about 40 yards on that carry before this one. Clock is ticking, tick, 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 tick.
It's not looking good for Ossining. Even if they get a stop here, it's going to be a tough hill to climb. But hey, you never know. There has been some quarterback-center exchanges that have gone awry. You
True.
never know when a big play can happen. We've seen a bunch of them in this game, a lot of big plays, big runs, a big touchdown catch. So you never know. You just got to keep playing hard and keep your nose to the ground.
Well, John Jay coming out here yet again, the I formation, hands off to the fullback as they've done on short and distance, and he's going to pound it in. Number 34, James Luciano. Luciano, one of the names of my favorite DJs, so that's pretty cool.
Nice little addition there. Good DJ throw out there.
So John Jay scores after the big run by Burnett. 46-20 is the score currently, pending the point after try. And we've got 4 minutes, 38 seconds left here in this first game, the opening game for both Ossining and John Jay.
And then unlike the NFL Patriots, they're not running it up. This is just how the game's gone. A lot of scoring on both sides. They've been pounding away, really haven't attempted passing much at all. Definitely, at most, 5 pass attempts on the day.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see here, go for another point after try. Just waiting for one of the John Jay players to step onto the field. All right, he's there, good to go. The snap, the kick, and the whistles are a-blowing. Going to see why. Delay a game. Okay, makes sense. Waiting on the substitution, so they're going to take off 5 yards there from the John Jay.
Good thing for John Jay, penalty yardage doesn't factor into the score.
And I mean, honestly, penalties aside, I mean, that's pretty much been their biggest bugaboo this game.
Yeah, that's really going to be the emphasis for the next game. Just clean that up. Try not to jump off sides, not hold. Those have really been the bugaboos for John Jay.
Yeah, solid game on both sides of the ball. And here is the kick. It is up, and it is is no good, called by the ref. So the score as we stand is 46-20, 4:38 left in the game.
Pumping a little Rocky theme music into the stadium, trying to get Austin motivated to come back in this game, down 26 points. They've been fighting all game. I expect them to keep fighting all the way to the end, 4:38 left. But you can keep just harping on the fact that, hey, we can make some big plays. We've done it. We're down, but we had a big touchdown catch on the last drive. They can keep trying to score and just really work on their offense and try and smooth things out. This still is the first game of the year and nothing to do but go up from here.
I mean, and we might also see lightning in a bottle as we saw on Austin's last possession.
Very well could happen. Could happen on this kickoff. Earlier in the game, Austin was having a very tough time returning the ball. They were getting stopped, inside the 20. But over the course of the game, they've had some nice returns. They've been able to bring it out to 30, 35 a few times.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, it is the first game of the season, coming straight out of camp, running against a different team as opposed to your own teammates for the first time all summer. So, there's going to be some kinks. You're going to be figuring some things out. The penalties on one side of the ball, the returns and whatnot in the other. But there's been a lot of good things to see on both sides of the ball. A lot of positive film as well as things to learn from. But here we go. John Jay with the kickoff deep. A little bit of trouble fielding the ball there by Ossining. Number 7, Isaiah Beltran, who came off the field earlier. It looks all right.
Just a little bit too far over his head, but fortunately for Austin, it went into the end zone, and they'll be able to start at the 20-yard line.
It looked like he maybe had touched it, but I guess he didn't, just bounce into the end zone. So Austin will take the ball over from the 20-yard line. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
And now thinking about that, isn't it kind of funny how now in the NFL it's at the 25-yard line, yet high school they're still going from the 20?
Different levels, obviously.
Course,
can't compare them. But, it is an interesting thing to look at. So here comes Ossining in their base offense, putting a man in motion. And it's going to be a simple handoff to number 2, and he cuts it outside. Nice little edge sweep there. And that's Zaire Fields, number 2, the sophomore for Ossining, on the carry. And looks like a gain of about 1.
A few of the backups in for Austin, Zaire Fields, number 2, being one of them.
And this might be a time for both teams to rotate some players in and get some guys some playing time. It looks like the D-line for John Jay has changed as well. And we got another handoff Ossining out of their base formation right up the middle. A nice solid run, great second effort. And that's number 35 on the carry, Isaiah Steen, another sophomore for Ossining. So they're getting their young guys some burn against one of the top teams in their conference.
Oh, most definitely. This is a top 10 team in the section, John Jay. It was a tough opponent for sure coming in, and Austin hung with them for quite a while. They were very impressive. Just pulled away late in this game, John Jay did.
All right, so Austin back on the ball. Handoff right up the middle to the fullback. He's going to break a couple tackles, and it looks like he's going to get the first down. So it's going to be a nice third down conversion for Ossining. Move the chains. And keep the clock running. We're just at about 3 minutes left here, a little more than 3 minutes left in the game. Ossining may try to cap this drive off with a touchdown, ended on a high note. Gets to the line quick, another handoff, there's number 2 again, Fields with the carry. Looks to break it outside, whistles are blown as he is carries it to about the line of scrimmage. Gonna be second and long.
Second down.
Now is really the time that they're just going to continue trying to churn out their regular base packages in the wing T offense. Give some reps to some of the younger players and the players that didn't start the game. And I think we'll also see a pass at some point here, just to mix it up.
Well, we'll see if that stands. And here it is. There's that play action, that back pass again that they like to run. I like the effort there by the senior, Class A. I like the effort there.
And as I mentioned, they passed the ball. Look at that. I love when that makes me look good.
A little serendipitous there, if you will. It's
Yes,
almost like you're in the
indeed.
huddle.
Oh, yes, I wish.
It's almost like you're calling the plays there, Bob. So here we go. Ossining to the line of scrimmage now. Same offensive set. Their wing T base. Looks like it's going to be a handoff right up the middle to the fullback. Gain of just a couple. It's going to be 4th and long down at their own 34-yard line. So we've got 4th down for Ossining. You know they want to convert this. Just keep the drive going.
Oh, most definitely.
Build on this.
Pass. It looks like they're still going with their base offense in the wing T.
Switch sides, though. Receivers on the other side of the field now. They're going to hand it off again to number 5, and he finds a nice hole, and he breaks it outside. He's going to fall up just a bit short, unfortunately. Gets down tackled at about the 40-yard line. And, just going to throw this out there. I like number 5 on Ossining, Josh Manning, rocking the all silver cleats and what looked like silver socks. Very fashionable. I am a fan.
Yeah, it's very fashion forward. A few of the players out on the field have some nice looking cleats. Mixing it up a bit. I see some gold cleats, some patriotic cleats. It's some flavor out there by these high school players.
I like it. You gotta play hard, and if you're gonna play hard, you gotta look good while you're doing it.
I guess so. That appears to be the case.
So we have just under 2 minutes. We got 1 minute and 46 seconds left here remaining in this opening game. John Jay leads Ossining 46-20. Again, thanks for watching OHS Sports. It's been a beautiful night here. Great fan turnout, both sides. And now John Jay comes out to the field with a slew of new players in. At running back, they've got a new player in, new quarterback, new receiver, fullback is different. So we got the handoff now to number 80 in the game, Ray Wilkinson.
Number 53, Isaiah DeJesus, in on the tackle for Ossining. Very good penetration on the play.
Number 10, Matt Egan, in at quarterback for John Jay. Matt Egan, a junior quarterback for John Jay.
If you're John Jay all day, you got to be very proud of how your O-line blocked and how your running backs just always plowed through the first and second tackles, always getting to that next level.
And we got a shift there by number 76, Kenny McGovern, for the junior for John Jay. So we're going to call a false start on the offense, moving back 5 yards. And you see the coach letting his quarterback know what he expects, letting Egan know. And Egan trots back out, going to let the offense know what the play is going to be. Probably, a simple run up the middle. Don't want to run out of bounds. Don't want to lose the ball. Got to make sure the exchange is clean. And we got number 22, Sean Norton, in at running back now for John Jay. And it's a pitch to the left side of the field, and wow, he just explodes out of the pitch. Picks up a nice gain, gets down back to about the 40-yard line. Gain of about 5 or 6 on that one.
Nice tackle by Zaire Fields, number 2. He's shown some nice things in the last few minutes when he's been playing on offense and now defense.
And the clock is winding down here. Just under 25 seconds to go. And they're going to run one more play so they don't get a delay of game call. And this should be it right here. And handoff. Wow, big pop there. Wilkinson with the ball, gets stuffed at the line. And that's going to do it here at Ossining High School. First game of the season is a loss for Ossining as they fall to John Jay, 46-20. We want to thank you for tuning in to OHS Sports here at Ossining High School. Tune in with us next week as Ossining takes on Portchester here at Ossining High School, 7 o'clock game. I'm Dan Kornhauser.
And my name is Bobby Hunt.
We want to give a shout out to Mr. Mack for running the show for us, camera, mics, everything. Special thanks to our athletic director, Jim Dennett, Principal Josh Mandel, Coach Dan Rickey, and Superintendent of Schools, Ray Sanchez. I'm Dan Kornhauser for Bobby Hunt, signing off. See you next week. Man in motion. And it's going to be a play action. Turns around quick, looks to throw it up. He's open. And he catches it.